Wanted to check in the morning. We had our first preseason game, so just want to give a little recap. The good, the bad, and the ugly. We'll be definitely talking about it more on our Monday live show. So definitely, if you're around, check it out. We take phone calls. We'd love to interact with you, get your thoughts on the game and other topics as well. But before I get going, make sure you guys, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Let's get this thing going. We're almost to 1,000. Like I said before, once we get to 1,000 subscribers, we're going to have a live giveaway of this beautiful Micah Parsons signed 11 by 14. He inscribed it with 2021 Defensive Rookie of the Year. It's an awesome piece to add to your man cave. So let's just get right to it. Let's talk about this game. We lost 17-7 to the Broncos. I've never been one to worry so much about the wins and losses in preseason, the scores, but what I want to see I want to see signs of things that I like. So good part about it, I thought our run defense came out very well. Gallimore looked really nice early on. Bohanna looked good. The defensive tackles were getting pushed around. They weren't getting pushed back. So that's a positive sign. I thought, we did get some pressure, not as much pressure as I like. But, hey, we had 20 guys not playing. So 20 starters, impact guys that weren't playing. So that was to be expected, but I did see some good things. Fowler, I believe, got a sack. We got a little bit of pressure there. So I thought the defense overall played well. Sometimes with the scoring, it's hard to tell. We went for it on fourth down, I think right at midfield or inside our territory. So you're putting your defense in a vulnerable spot. So, again, I don't get too wrapped up in the score, but it's things I want to see. So defensively, I liked it. I liked the way that the schemes were. I liked the way they played. Secondary started out good. Nashawn Wright started, early on. He looked like he had a nice pick, but I guess it got a little handsy. It didn't look too bad to me, but it was a good play. But then he started having some tough points in the game. They were throwing. I don't think they schemed to throw at someone. It was just the way that they were going and where he was covering. But he got a lot of attention. He got a lot of opportunity to make something happen, and unfortunately, he didn't take advantage of it. I thought Kelvin Joseph, in the limited opportunities he had, it's the one thing that I was, my son and I were watching the game. We're talking about it. They always seem in position. It's not like they're getting beat bad. It's just they're not defending the pass. They're not breaking it up. They're not getting any, when an opportunity for a pick, they're just not coming through with it. So that's something that's a little concerning with our backups when it comes to who wants to take that, cornerback 4 spot, cornerback 3 spot. It looks like, obviously, Diggs is going to be our 1. Brown will be our 2. Lewis will be 3. But who can maybe step up and push those guys, or at least push to 3 or push to 2, some of these younger guys. The one guy that I did like, I got to look at my notes. I get deep into the depth chart, but he was number 30. Hopefully I got his name right, is Dayron Bland. He was making plays. He was making, a couple good hits, pass breakups, things you want to see. So, from a young rookie, that's one of those promising things that you want to see is who are these young guys that can come up and be impact players. And it's not necessarily your first, second, and third round picks. It's those undrafted free agents, late round draft picks. That's what I want to see. That's what I want to see, who can make this roster and push some of the veteran guys to make them even better. So that was a positive, in the secondary. Again, going to probably flip into the offense. So, I touched on the defense. And again, Monday night, 7 p.m. Eastern, we'll be live. We'll definitely talk about it more. So call in. Give your boy a holler, because the hype's going to be coming soon. Once we work all these issues out, I'll be really hyped. But the main issue we have, obviously, with offense is the line. And, Ball was absolutely terrible. I think we've got some trouble if we've got some injuries and we're counting on him to be the swing tackle. He did not look good. He got a lot of penalties, which we'll definitely we'll talk a little bit more about that. But Josh Ball's got to step it up, and if he can't step it up, it's time to step it out. And maybe this team needs to find somebody that can make it happen, because he was terrible. And I don't want to throw everything on one game and, hit the panic button and all that kind of stuff. It just didn't look good. So that was a big concern there. I thought Tyler Smith played well. I mean, he had, a couple penalties, which we'll get into the big problem with the penalties. But I thought overall for his first game, he's got the nerves, I'm sure, and this and that. I thought he played well and handled himself. I thought the running game, we ran the ball well, and that was a good sign. They were opening up holes. We had the running backs were gashing a little bit. So I think I didn't look at all the numbers because again it's preseason, but yards per carry I would think were pretty good. We had the kid from Harvard. He ran pretty well, and number 34. Not sure who he is. I'm going to be honest with you. All these you get deep in the depth charts, but I thought he ran pretty hard as well. Maybe it was him. But anyway, all our running backs were good, and I thought the offensive line did well in run blocking. Pass protection seemed good early. Then when the second string got out and you started getting deeper into the depth chart, we had some trouble with protection. So that's a concern again with depth, and I think we've talked about it. If there's something this team is, if you got to get deep into our roster, and I think that'd probably be the case with almost any team. So I don't want to really single out Dallas. I think you can get in a little bit of trouble, but the second string that was in there, they held their own. Once it got down to the third and a little mix of the second and third, I thought there was some trouble. So definitely something to keep our eye on next week when we're playing the Chargers. Watch that offensive line. Wide receivers, I think I tweeted it out. I want to see someone. I want to see someone step up. I want to see something happen. And unfortunately, I don't think Cooper Rush did us any favors. I was really hoping Will Grier was going to be healthy to play. I think he's the better option. I think he's got more upside. Let's be real. If Dak goes down for a long period of time, the season's probably over. So, and that's probably the case for most teams. You're investing so much in your quarterback. The backups, you usually don't have that luxury of having someone that's going to step in and take you to the promised land. There's usually a huge drop off. But I wanted to see Will Grier. I wanted him to get that opportunity. I watched him, play. Started in Florida, then he went to West Virginia. He put up some good numbers in college. He was a Heisman Trophy finalist. So young guy, big guy, seems to have some of the tools. So I was hoping to get him in, but with a groin injury, I guess they were being cautious, and obviously, understandably so. But some of the receivers that I was hoping would step up, I was really hoping that Jalen Tolbert. He had some opportunities. He came through with a couple, but he had that bad drop on fourth down when they went for it. That was definitely on him. But again, I'm not going to get panicky and go crazy over one game. I thought Dennis Houston didn't get as many opportunities, but when he did, he made some plays. Simi caught a touchdown. Nice play late in the game. DiNucci actually played pretty well, but he's not the answer. I hate the way he throws. So we've definitely got to get that quarterback backup position solidified. I know Cooper Rush is a veteran. He did well in Minnesota when the game counted, so I got to give him props for that. But I would like to see what Will Grier has to do. But the receivers never really got a chance. They never really got going. And it was something that, Bill Jones and Babe Laufenberg talked about. Probably 2 or 3 of these receivers that were out there, they're going to be guys that we count on. So we need to figure out what we got with these young receivers, because of course we know what we got with CD. That's pretty much it for as far as a proven guy. Noah Brown is the next one, and he's not so proven. He didn't play either. So it really was your 3, 4, 5, and 6 receivers. So definitely that's something we want to watch on Saturday. See if we can get our quarterback, get everything going, to get them going. Get a little rhythm on offense, because I think the receiving, the pass offense was not very good, to be honest. I'm trying to think of a good word to say, but I can't think of one, so I'm just going to say not very good. So, but the biggest issue that we talked about is penalties, and 17 penalties, man. Let me just repeat that: 17 penalties. It was shades of the playoff game. Same referee, same main referee calling that game, calling the penalties. It was there. No excuse. Some of the penalties are stupid penalties, personal fouls after the whistle, false starts, holding on big plays, taking it away. We've seen this story before. So it got me really upset, gets me really charged up because this is something, it's a point of emphasis that they had, and I don't really see the improvement. And that starts with the coach. Hey, I give him a pass sometimes, but that starts at the top. There's got to be accountability. And, the odd thing is you can look back in history. When he was a head coach of the Packers, they were one of the least penalized teams. So I'm not sure what went on or what's going on or where the change is or what it is, but they better get it fixed because it's a problem. You can't win football games with 17 penalties. You're not going to be contending with 17 penalties. It was by far the most of any game in the preseason. You can't even use that as an excuse, saying, well, there's young guys and this and that. These penalties, a lot of them were undisciplined penalties that should never have happened. They've got to be better. The technique's got to be better on the offensive line. Some of them are just getting their hands a little too wide, not holding on a little too long, and a lot of it was unnecessary. The play was already past them, or they weren't even in the main part of the play at the time. So defensively, the DBs were getting some, and they said it's going to be a point of emphasis in preseason. The hands, illegal contact, they're going to call that heavier. So some of them were really ticky-tack, but still no excuse. They hurt. And we've got to get better at that. So that's something that they better fix quickly, or we're going to be in for some trouble this season. We're going to have some of them games like we did last year where, like that Raiders game where you just basically lose just on penalties. So that's something we got to fix. Hopefully they get back to work, get that taken care of, and get this thing right. But overall, I'd like to see the offense scoring points. I'm looking through all these other games and you see it, but we didn't, the Eagles played Hurts. Washington played Wentz. A lot of these teams played their quarterbacks a little bit. Obviously, in this game, Broncos and Cowboys, they didn't play anybody. They didn't really play anybody. Now, I know they've scrimmaged on Thursday. They had a controlled scrimmage. So a lot of those guys were getting those reps there in controlled situations. So I think that's obviously the main reason why they scaled that back and said, hey, we're just going to just play our backups more. So they're doing the same thing with the Chargers. So I don't know what that means. Are they going to scale it back? Are they going to do the same thing? I really want to see, Dak in a series. I want to see CD in a series. I want to see Jalen, Tolbert. I want to see these guys getting the ball from Dak, and I want to see if we can get some rhythm on offense. I'm hoping that they're not going to take the approach of just our starters aren't going to play at all in preseason. We're just going to use these 2 controlled scrimmages, and then we're going to treat the Seahawks, the third preseason game as nothing. I think you need to get on the field. I think you need to take some hits. I know Zeke's, probably not going to play. Pollard may not play much. Running backs, I'm not as concerned with, but the passing game and the offensive line, I want to see some rhythm, see some continuity, see some things going with them. To get us started, because we don't have time to waste. We're starting out with Tampa, and then we got Cincinnati. So the team better be ready. They better wake up when it comes to that time. So I think it's very important that we get things going there. Defensively, obviously, a lot of the starters didn't play. I'd like to see them get a little bit. I know Micah Parsons was chomping at the bit to get in there, so I'd expect him to, I expect to see them a little bit more in the second game, and again, a little bit in the third game. But, overall, the penalties. That's all I'm going to say. Penalties. This game is all about penalties. You take the penalties away, which you can never do. They had some good things, especially on defense, but they've got to get this straightened out. Mike McCarthy, man, it's on you, brother. You got to make things happen. So, again, check us out. We're going to be, Jimmy D and I will be live Monday night, 7 o'clock Eastern. Call in. Let's talk about this game. Let's talk about your concerns. Let's talk about your thoughts of, moving forward. What players, maybe separated themselves, the ones that are trying to make that roster spot. Also, check out cowboyscave.com. Your boys got the website up. We got some fan caves in there. I'm still looking for more fan caves. I want to see what you Cowboy fans got. We got to make, you stand to this? Are you at this level, or we need to improve it? Because your boys got a lot of stuff. Your boys got some extra stuff. So I'm always looking to improve some people's fan caves, especially if it's Cowboys, of course. I got to take care of my guys. So anyway, you guys have a great Sunday. Check us out Monday. We'll be here live on YouTube. We'll be live on Facebook. You can check out Tag Nation on Facebook. We got a group page, and hope to see you guys. Take it easy. I'm still trying to get up. That was a long night on the East Coast. It was a late game, but we'll see what happens next week. You guys have a great Sunday. See you on Monday. Peace, and I'll leave you with one little treat. Eagles! Jones getting ready, because you might not like it, but you will learn to love it, because we are the best thing going today. Now, can you dig it?